Well, according to former Israeli Prime Minister and Defense Minister Ehud Barak, well, Israel nearly gave the green light for an attack to prevent Tehran from acquiring an atomic bomb. Well, Barak's revelations were broadcast on Friday night and immediately aroused the ire of Israel's leaders. Well, here's Ehud Barak on the Israeli attacks, which never took place.
In the pre-nuclear Accord era, the prospect of an Israeli attack on Iran was the hottest topic on the agenda. Such a strike, needless to say, never happened, but new details revealed that the warplanes were very, very close to taking off. Audio recordings of former Israeli Prime Minister and Defense Minister Ehud Barak revealed there were 3 separate Israeli plans to attack Iranian nuclear facilities between 2010 and 2012 that were eagerly supported both by Barak himself and by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. All were eventually blocked. In the recordings obtained by Israel's Channel 2, Barak divulges that the first plan in 2010 was dismissed by then IDF Chief of Staff Gabi Ashkenazi due to lack of operational capability.
Ultimately, you need the IDF Chief of Staff. The IDF Chief of Staff has to say that there is operational capability. We gathered in a side room, just a small group. There were 30 people in the discussion, and in this case we had a very small group. The Prime Minister, Defense Minister, Foreign Minister, Chief of Staff, the head of the Mossad, the head of military intelligence, the head of the Shin Bet. In this forum, we actually wanted to know what the situation was. The answer was not a positive one when he was pushed into the corner.
A year later, it was the opposition of 2 key Israeli ministers, Yuval Steinitz and Moshe Ya'alon, which cancelled the attack.
We held a discussion in the Forum of 8. We went there after Netanyahu told the 2 of us, Lieberman and me, that Ya'alon and Steinitz supported the operation. The Chief of Staff lays it all out, all the difficulties, the complications, the complexities and the problems, including the possibility of losses. And you see Ya'alon and Steinitz crumbling in front of your eyes. Either Netanyahu did not do his preparation, or he had misunderstood what constitutes a yes.
In the recording, Barak further lashed out at the 2 ministers, currently 2 of the most vocal and harsh opponents of the nuclear deal.
It's the same Ya'alon and Steinitz who today, if you ask the public, are the most militant in attacking Iran, if they hadn't changed their minds. There would have been a majority of 5 or 6, and then we may have convened the full cabinet to make a decision, and there would have been an operation.
The last attack plan in 2012 was dismissed when it was claimed the timing did not work out due to a joint army drill between the US and Israel. These revelations come at a highly delicate time when Israel is very determined to block the nuclear agreement with Iran. Jerusalem still stresses time and again that all options are on the table, including the military one.
And we're joined in the studio now by the News Today's diplomatic correspondent, Ehud Barak. Eli, good to have you with us.
Good evening, David.
So let's talk about one thing that jumped out to me listening and watching this story was how this type of deep information emerged past the censors in the government here. How did this make the press in the first place?
Yeah, this is basically the biggest question of this story. You know, Israel is well trained in very sensitive issues. Israel has been dealing with many of them in recent years. One of them, obviously, being the Iranian issues, and this is exactly the questions many people in the military and the political spheres in Israel are asking themselves now. And Tzachi Hanegbi, the head of the Foreign Affairs and Security Committee in the Israeli parliament, decided to open a probe into the decision of the censorship to clear out this information. And it really is indeed still sort of an enigma how come this very delicate information was cleared to publication.
Now, perhaps we understand the greater significance here, following this type of story closely here. It's been assumed for years that Israel had plans to attack Iran. This doesn't seem like surprising information, but why is this now so significant? Why is it making such a big splash?
Because we're basically getting an inside look into one of the most confidential, forums in Israel and maybe in the world in general. We're talking about, again, a highly delicate issue. Even many U.S. administration officials have been, complaining about the fact that they were not in the loop when it comes to Israel attacking or not attacking Iran. So to hear Ehud Barak himself in his own voice sharing this, again, very, very sensitive information, this is the big deal. And as you can imagine, many people are very, very angry, including Moshe Ya'alon and Yuval Steinitz that were mentioned in particular by Barak, both of them saying that it's a grave that such information has been openly shared, and they are saying that this is a very biased information from Barak. And I can assure you there's still more to come on this issue. Many people are infuriated with Barak, and it seems that we will follow this story.
Well, this has come at a moment where Israel doesn't exactly have the best relations with internationally, best standing internationally. So certainly a story like this doesn't seem to help the situation at all for the Israeli government. One can understand why the Israeli government would be so upset by this coming out now. Let's talk about the aftermath of this a little bit, the fallout, I guess we could call it, so far. The story's still unfolding, and I guess it's a story that's still giving. So far, how has the aftermath, the fallout been?
Well, despite the fact that we are talking about a global issue, the Iran nuclear program, we have been dealing with this issue from many different aspects, but we are very much, we should look at the internal politics in this regard. Barak, his book, his biography is coming out this week, and also these recordings. And Gabi Ashkenazi, the former IDF chief of staff and a bitter rival of Barak, is there are rumors he's planning to go into politics soon. So maybe Barak is trying to foil that for him. So a lot of internal ramifications, not so much in the global arena at the moment.
Well, Ehud Barak, our diplomatic correspondent, thank you very much for being with us.